Welcome, bienvenidos. This is Roxana from MetamorphosisRox. Let's talk about hypocrisy. As usual, the easiest way to bring a point home is by using celebrities and other famous people. Before I even start, let me make an important point here. Everyone does this. The left does it, the right does it, good people do it, and bad people do it. My point, and if you've been here for a while, you know why I'm saying this, is that people will criticize in others what they will forgive on themselves and their friends. We begin then with J.K. Rowling. Famous writer of one of the biggest franchises in modern history, it is debatable if the books will stand the test of time. And of course, I'm talking about Harry Potter. Reality is, in this modern era that we're currently living in, your stance in terms of how you treat humanity can make or break your fandom. When the books came out, she made the point of letting everyone know that Dumbledore, the venerable headmaster and master manipulator for the good guys, was gay. It seemed like an unnecessary thing to bring up at the time, and given what we now know, manipulative. So imagine the fanhood's surprise when it was discovered that Miss Rowling is transphobic. In fact, she's in the camp that thinks that trans women are men who are hiding their crimes and or dress as women to commit crimes. Recently, she decided to show support to a man named Dennis Noel Kavanaugh. Now, the man is gay, and he decided to say something that infuriated the masses, and the last reason for people to hate on Rowling. So what did Kavanaugh say that was so horrible? "I prefer AIDS," I quote. "It didn't castrate innocent gay boys, and I knew how to fight it. A deadly virus is preferable to the gender ghouls of Stonewall and mermaids." Dennis is a lawyer who's been practicing since 2003. I don't know how studies go for the UK, but in the US, you can become a lawyer by the time you're in your middle 20s. Maybe he's in his 40s. The reason I'm wondering the age is because I'm pretty sure he was alive when AIDS became the epidemic of the 80s and the 90s, and I'm wondering if he was too young to understand how that went. I'm not. I lost a brother and several friends and family members to this disease at a time when there was no medical cocktail to keep you alive. I remember the pain and the suffering of both the sick and their family members. And quite frankly, I'm tired of all these pundits comparing modern situations with real-life horror stories like AIDS and the Holocaust for effects, clicks, and views. It is vile, and I don't care about the context. Then again, his account, before he was reinstated, was not loading when I looked, so I couldn't see what he was replying to. He is a gay man tired of the rainbow, in his own words, for imposing their views on his movement. And there it is in a nutshell. The problem with many humans, which seems to disproportionately affect the more vocal, richer ones, is that they don't care about anything unless it affects them personally. When his account was reinstated, Rowling welcomed him back after spending most of the day talking about free speech and whatnot. Oddly enough, someone critical of J.K. Rowling, Kathy, I don't know, I think it's Katie, Montgomery, was also silenced, and when she got her account back, there was no comment from Rowling, even though plenty of people tagged her. The second phenomenon of this is the amount of people who will defend Rowling, ignoring or knowing and dismissing the fact that she wrote a book under an alias which happens to be the name of a conversion therapist. What was the book about? A cross-dressing serial killer. This week is Lesbians Visibility Week, and she decided to mention her friend Allison Bailey, who is suing an organization and needs all the visibility she can get. Now, I don't know much about the organization, Stonewall, but Miss Bailey alleges that they purposefully and maliciously tried to ruin her career, and if that is proven in court, then they should pay. By the way, Miss Bailey, I believe, is a lesbian. I'm not familiar enough to give an opinion on that matter, and the court should decide anyway. And I don't mean the whether or not she's a lesbian, I mean the whole lawsuit. But ever the victim, Rowling decided to once again make it about her and claim that she was getting hate for featuring a black woman. No, people thinking that Rowling is a hypocrite who is using Bailey and others to appear inclusive is the reason why people had a problem. Also, I know enough to know that Stonewall, the charity in question, is pro-trans rights. So there is that. Moving on to Elon Musk and his stance. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I will say that Musk purchased Twitter under a promise of freedom of speech. Ironically, right-wing pundits and stands seem to think that this is some kind of wonderful human and gloss over the part where he's the heir of an alleged blood diamond fortune. He can't get the people he sent to outer space back home, allegedly, and allegedly sold Teslas that are supposed to be self-driven but can't see when they're approaching a white trailer truck. He didn't build anything or create anything. And when he offered the UN $6 billion to end world hunger with one condition, he wanted a plan, they gave him the plan, but they never got the money. That man, the champion of free speech, cannot tolerate dissent. Ask his employees who want to unionize, or anyone who has spoken up against him. He hates dissent so much that even though he asks his haters not to leave Twitter, he already started blocking people. Which brings me back to the beginning and the reason why I'm talking about all this. The truth is, humans in general are very selfish. Even if you're raised in an environment of cooperation, many develop a horrible mentality of me first, me second, and whatever is left is mine as well. We're raised to believe that we are individuals and that it is okay to put ourselves first, but we confuse the idea of self-preservation with extreme self-comfort. If you want me to expand on that, let me know in the comments section below, because that would require its own separate video. The thing is, we rarely care about things until and unless they affect us personally. And so, we see this in the latest Twitter implosion, where people are saying that for the right wing, free speech is for me but not for thee. And you might be wondering why they are saying that. I give you Josh Mandel, who inadvertently proved the point. He said Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A were the good guys, while Disney and Twitter are the bad guys. In other words, companies who affiliate themselves with conservative ideas are by default good, and those who do not are evil. And just so you understand why I say everyone can fall for this, the left, on the other hand, thought Twitter is a private entity and can do what it was, but when Elon Musk decided to buy it, they had a problem. Yes, I think both sides are hypocrites. Are you really surprised? Here's the thing. Think about how the right thinks cancel culture is bad, but have spent the last 3 weeks doing demonstrations and bashing Disney. Do you not think that is hypocritical? Then turn around and think how the left made ableist jokes about Trump's possible dementia, but now they get mad when the right does it to Biden. I had a problem with both of these, in case you were wondering. I say all this to tell you that at the end of the day, self-preservation does not have to come at the expense of anyone else. You can be inclusive and fight for your own rights. On every walk of life, there are good people and bad people, and there is much work to be done for all of us to be treated equally. It starts by recognizing the hypocrisy and stamping it out. As usual, let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you like what we're doing here, give us a like and consider subscribing.